This is Antarctica. The southernmost point on Earth, Antarctica is a continent surrounded by icy ocean water. It is the iciest, coldest, and believe it or not, the driest place on Earth. It is autumn now in Antarctica, and the ocean waters are getting even colder. Soon the ice will be thick enough to walk on. But as you can see, there aren't any creatures walking out here on the ice. Or are there? Look closely. See there? This is the emperor penguin. Emperor penguins are the largest of the world's penguins. They can be about 115 centimeters tall. That's about as tall as a 6-year-old human. Because Antarctica's harsh climate is so deadly, the emperor penguin is rarely alone. Instead, emperor penguins live in large groups called colonies. Each year as winter approaches, the emperor penguins migrate long distances onto the newly frozen ocean, where they are safe from predators such as killer whales and leopard seals. There, on the frozen wasteland, they meet up with other members of the colony and do their best to find a mate. It's a long and difficult journey, but this is the least dangerous part of the season. By the time it gets really cold, the mother penguin lays her egg. It's a difficult job to keep the egg from freezing on the ice. By the time the eggs hatch, the penguin parents will be starving, and the baby needs food. One of the penguin parents needs to make the long, difficult journey across the frozen desert to find food. How does this all happen? We'll learn about it in today's reading. A Penguin Family. Are you ready to make the journey to icy Antarctica? Grab your hat, your jacket, and some goggles. Let's go! Welcome to Unit 8, Animal Wonders. This is the meerkat. What's your favorite animal, and why? I'm not sure if I have a favorite animal. I really like cats. I like dogs too. I think if I had to choose my top 5 favorite animals, they would be in no particular order: dolphins, octopus, cats, dogs, and turtles. Do you think animals have similar feelings to humans? I guess it depends on the type of animal, how intelligent it is, and maybe whether or not they are domesticated. I know for a fact that animals have personalities. They even have language. But do you think they have similar feelings to humans? Take a look at these emperor penguin chicks. These chicks are now old enough to live by themselves as their parents make the long and dangerous journey back to the open ocean to find food. In Antarctica, home of the emperor penguin, it can get as cold as -60 degrees Celsius. That's 75 degrees Fahrenheit below zero. What do you know about penguins? Mark each sentence below as true or false. Number 1. Penguins can breathe underwater. Number 2. Wild penguins only live in Antarctica. Number 3. There are 6 different types of penguins. Number 4. Once a year, penguins lose all their feathers. Number 5. Penguins feed their babies food that they already ate. Why don't you take about 20 seconds now and mark down your answers. We'll review when you're finished. How'd you do? Let's check. Penguins can breathe underwater. This is true, right? Absolutely not. Penguins are birds, not fish. They can't breathe underwater. Number 2. Wild penguins only live in Antarctica. This is also false. Penguins live in many different parts of the world, as you will learn in a moment. Number 3. There are 6 different types of penguin. Is this true? No, it is not. There are nearly 20 types of penguin. Aside from the emperor penguin, whom you've already met, there are many other species of penguin, including the Galapagos penguin, the erect crest penguin, the snares penguin, the yellow-eyed penguin, the Gentoo penguin, the Humboldt penguin, the king penguin, the chinstrap penguin, the African penguin, the Fiordland penguin, the Magellanic penguin, the rockhopper penguin, the royal penguin, the little penguin, also known in Australia as little blue, the white flippered penguin, the Adelie penguin, and my personal favorite, the macaroni penguin. Number 4. Once a year, penguins lose all their feathers. This is true, and it's called molting. Number 5. Penguins feed their babies food that they already ate. This is true also. Time for today's main reading. A penguin family. Here are today's language targets. Colony. Conditions. Antarctica. Just in time. On its own. Let's check out paragraphs 1 and 2. Emperor penguins are the largest penguins on Earth. Each adult is over a meter tall and can weigh up to 40 kilograms. For many months each year, emperors live near the sea in large groups called colonies. However, in May, the weather gets colder and ice covers large areas of ocean. Each colony moves many kilometers from the water. There, each mother penguin lays just one egg. Then all the hungry mothers must walk back to the ocean to find food. The father penguins put their eggs on top of their feet, under a special piece of skin called the brood pouch. Let's check out these footnotes. If something weighs 40 kilograms, that's how heavy it is. When an animal lays an egg, it pushes it out of its body. We have 2 vocabulary words in this paragraph, and we have 1 language target, the word colony. An adult is a person or animal that is fully grown. How long does it take an emperor penguin to become an adult? A colony is a group of animals that live and interact closely with each other. Colonies of animals interact with each other. That means they do things together. Penguins live in colonies. You won't see any penguins living alone, not even a small family of penguins living separately from a colony. Members of a colony need each other in order to survive. This looks like a flock of birds, doesn't it? These aren't birds, they're mammals. In fact, they're bats. Bats live in colonies just like penguins. They need each other to survive. Walruses are mammals too. They also live in colonies. Ants live in colonies. So do bees. Let's practice. A colony is a group of animals that live and interact closely with each other. Can you think of any other animals that live in colonies? The word special means better or different than what is usual. Kangaroo mothers have a special pouch for carrying their young too. Paragraph 3. Sharing the work. For 2 months, the father penguins keep the eggs safe and warm. They do this through some of the coldest weather conditions on Earth. By July, it is winter in Antarctica. Most animals leave for warmer places, but the father penguins stay. In this time, without food, a father penguin can lose almost half of his body. That is amazing. We have two language targets in this paragraph: conditions and Antarctica. Conditions are the situations that a person or animal is living in and affected by. The weather conditions in Antarctica are extreme. If the egg touches the ground for more than a few seconds, it will freeze. Race car drivers work under very stressful conditions. The thick fog makes driving conditions very dangerous. A dark, cool bedroom has all the right conditions for a good night's sleep. Let's practice. Conditions are the situations that a person or animal is living in and affected by. How would conditions like the ones pictured here affect your study? How would they affect your sleep? Antarctica is the continent around the Earth's south pole. Let's take a trip to Antarctica. The first thing you need to know about Antarctica is its location. Antarctica is the southernmost place on Earth. To visit Antarctica, all you have to do is hop on a boat and travel south. When your boat starts hitting ice, you're probably close. The second thing you need to know about Antarctica is actually three things. It's the coldest, windiest, and driest place on Earth. Any climate that has little to no precipitation, also known as rain, is considered a desert. Since almost all of Antarctica's precipitation arrives as snow, it is technically a frozen desert. The third thing you should know about Antarctica is there is more wildlife there than you might expect. Let's practice. Antarctica is the continent around Earth's south pole. What have you learned about Antarctica today? Paragraph 4. New life. By August, the babies begin to hatch. The mother penguin returns just in time to see her baby come out of its egg. The chick is then moved to her brood pouch. This can be difficult. If the chick falls, it can freeze quickly, so the penguin parents must be very careful. Once this is done, the father penguin can go back to the ocean to find food. Wow, we have 3 footnotes in this paragraph. Let's take a look. If baby animals hatch, they come out of an egg. A chick is a baby bird. If a liquid freezes, it becomes solid like ice because of low temperatures. We have 2 vocabulary words in this paragraph and 1 language target: just in time. Just in time means at the last possible time. If the builders stay on schedule, our new home should be finished just in time for the winter. I hope they finish the new house in time. Emily loves her new binoculars. The first day she had them, she looked up just in time to see a helicopter. With her speed and quick thinking, Coco the seal avoided the great white shark just in time. Stunt drivers are experts at moving their cars out of the way just in time. Let's practice. Just in time means at the last possible time. Have you ever managed to do something just in time? Parents are a father and a mother. Penguin parents work hard to take care of the baby penguin. Careful means making sure to avoid danger or trouble. This is a king cobra. Snake charmers are extremely careful around deadly snakes like the king cobra. Paragraphs 5 and 6. Growing up. Over the next few months, penguin parents take turns going to the ocean for food. They each make the trip several times, bringing back food for the chick. The chick grows quickly and is always hungry. Into the water. By December, Winter is ending. The chick is 5 months old and can live on its own. Soon it enters the water for the first time. It will swim and eat until next April and then return here. After a few more years, it too will start its own family. We have 3 vocabulary words in this paragraph and 1 language target. On its own. To take turns means to do the same thing with one person after another. You take turns when you play a board game with your friends. Can you think of another time when you might take turns? Several means more than 2, but not many. We played several games at the party. On its own means by itself, without help or support. By December, the chick is about 5 months old. It can live on its own. A robot vacuum can clean the floor on its own. Can a toy car move on its own? Only if it is set in motion first. A computer can solve math problems on its own. Let's practice. On its own means by itself, without help or support. Can a banana peel itself on its own? Can you think of something that happens on its own? To enter means to come or go into. Has anyone entered this igloo? Nice work! You finished the reading. Time for today's discussion questions. Number 1. What adaptations do emperor penguins have that help them survive in the harsh conditions of the Antarctic? That's a good question. By the way, an adaptation is a change, adjustment, or transformation in the body or in a behavior. I can think of one adaptation that penguins have. Both the mother and father penguin have a brood pouch, which is a special place that allows them to keep the egg warm and away from the ice. Can you think of another adaptation that emperor penguins have? Can you think of another animal that has adaptations for survival? I bet you can. Number 2. What are the benefits of living in large colonies for emperor penguins? What are the drawbacks? Think about this one for a minute. I bet you will come up with an answer. One benefit of living in large colonies for emperor penguins is that they are able to huddle together and keep warm. Can you think of another benefit of living in a large colony? How about a drawback? I bet it's very difficult for the mother and father penguins to find each other after making the long trip back from the ocean. What do you think? What's another drawback of living in a large colony for the emperor penguins? What other animals live in large colonies? We mentioned a few in today's lesson. Time for today's critical thinking questions. Which penguin parent is more important, the mother or the father? And why do you think so? I will let you answer this question. Do you think the same is true for all animal parents? And why? Time for today's reading skill. Today's reading skill is paraphrasing. A paraphrased sentence has the same meaning as the original sentence, but uses different words and sometimes different grammar. Paraphrasing can make a passage more interesting. Take a look at this example. Emperor penguins are the largest penguins on Earth. If that's our original sentence, how might you paraphrase this sentence? Here's one way. You could say, there are no penguins on Earth larger than emperor penguins. Can you see how both of these sentences basically mean and say the same thing? Which sentence do you think is more interesting? Let's practice paraphrasing now. We'll do some multiple choice. Which sentence correctly paraphrases the first sentence? Number 1. Penguins cannot fly. How would you paraphrase this sentence? A. Penguins are not able to fly. Or B. Penguins swim but don't fly. Here's number 2. Penguins get all their food from the sea. How would you paraphrase this sentence? A. Penguins get some food on land. Or B. Penguins only find food in the sea. And here's number 3. Penguins prefer to be around other penguins. How would you paraphrase this sentence? Or say it so that it means the same thing with different words or grammar. Is it A. Penguins are never alone? Or B. Penguins like to be in groups? Take a minute now to choose your answers. We'll review when you're finished. How'd you do? Let's check your answers. How would you paraphrase this sentence? Penguins cannot fly. Hey, careful with that egg! The correct answer is A. Penguins are not able to fly. How about number 2? Penguins get all their food from the sea. I said be careful, watch out! The correct answer is B. Penguins only find food in the sea. How about number 3? Penguins prefer to be around other penguins. Oh, that is just too scary. The correct answer is B again. Penguins like to be in groups. Please don't drop your penguin eggs on the ice. It's too dangerous. Time for today's homework. Today's homework is, you guessed it, a paraphrasing worksheet. On this worksheet, I've included original sentences from today's reading. I want you to paraphrase these sentences. In other words, put them in your own words so that they say the same thing in a way that is a little more interesting. If you need help, you can check the paragraphs in the reading for context. I think you'll do just fine. That's all for today's main reading lesson. Stick around for the retelling and writing lesson coming up next.